Hi, I'm Jennifer Kent, Vice President of Research with Parks Associates. And I'm so pleased to be joined today by Debbie Kimberly, who's the VP of Customer Energy Solutions with Austin Energy. Hi, Debbie, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine, Jennifer. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much for joining us today and joining the Smart Energy Summit community. There's been so much change in consumers' lives, in patterns and behaviors and work and across the country the past year. What can you tell us about what Austin Energy is seeing and how these changes are affecting your business?
This past year has been a year like none other. And when we closed out 2020, I think all of us said we never want to repeat 2020 again. And 2021 has posed its own set of challenges. On the plus side, I would say one of the things that's notable for us at Austin Energy was this last year, we celebrated our 125th anniversary. So it was a remarkable year in which to see how our industry has changed, not just over a year, but over a century and a quarter. So it's been nothing short of remarkable. And you look at the way our population has changed in Austin, that too is remarkable. Notwithstanding a global pandemic, an economic collapse, and everything else in between, we've seen more and more customers move to Austin, both residential and commercial. And we see customer growth that is really sustaining us, though our energy consumption levels are very, very low. So that's good news for somebody like myself that's focused on customer energy solutions and sustainability. I would say one of the things that both the pandemic and as y'all know, I live here in Central Texas. I never expected that I would be sitting through not one, but two ice storms. And ERCOT mandated outages that affected and still are affecting a number of our customers. So what that points to me is overarching everything is the need for resilience. And that can be accomplished via all sorts of work that can be done on the grid, what consumers have and will increasingly, I think, want more of, and what we as utilities can help enable on our end. So for me, and it's always been this way, looking at it through the lens of the consumer, Jennifer, I've always talked about sort of the four C's, which is what consumers want, and that's convenience, control, choice, and cost, in particular low cost. But the central theme that all of our customers have said, no matter what research tool we use, is they want reliability or, viewed differently, resilience. That is the number one priority for our customers, and I suspect for many of the people that follow you.
Absolutely. I think the conversation about resilience and where different energy services and products play in delivering that resilience to the grid and ultimately to consumers and commercial end users. One thing we talk about a lot in thinking about the connected home generally is how you bring these products into the home and how you raise consumer awareness about products and how they feed back into the larger energy market. And can you tell us a little bit about where you're seeing there be opportunities, maybe shifting or changing opportunities in the connected home as it relates specifically to energy resilience for consumers?
Certainly. I would say one of I think a great example of a success story for us, Jennifer, is what we've continued to do with two-way communicating thermostats with our customers. And I think, as I shared at a couple of conferences ago, we modified the energy code. The City of Austin modified its energy code such that new single-family residences and certain multifamily residents, new construction, will automatically have as a standard in our energy code two-way communicating thermostats. And we've recently taken the approach of extending to our existing multifamily customers, a program wherein we overcome the split incentive. So I know that's utility speak, right? You've got, in the case of Austin, 60% of our residential customers rent. So that's higher than what you would see in most communities. And those customers are renting, but the property owner is the one that would otherwise be the one to install an energy saving device, such as a smart thermostat or one that enables us to move load. And what we've done is to put together programs wherein we go in and do not only smart thermostats, but solar screens, insulation, basically weatherization in these properties. And that helps us break down that split incentive. And our contractors that we work with have said that those smart thermostats, which have been, pretty much increasing since I want to say roughly 2013, if memory serves, are the granite countertops in the multifamily space. That's what those property owners really like. That's an amenity. And so we found that there is a really ripe, robust market for that type of amenity, for lack of a better word. And just the ability to have that and not necessarily be completely Wi-Fi enabled, but just the basics has been huge in helping us break down what has long been a barrier in getting multifamily property owners involved in our programs. Think of it this way. If in Austin you have a roughly 2% vacancy rate, that's a big hurdle to overcome. And we've done that, I think, very, very successfully. Now, a pandemic affected our ability to go in and do that for a while. So we did have to suspend our programs until it was safe for us to be able to go in and install those measures. And not just safe, it has to be safe for your customers, safe for your contractors, and safe for your employees. And I'd be happy to talk about that more because I think safety is job one, always has been, always will be, especially if you're an electric utility. That is of paramount importance.
Well, so what you've just spoken to is really thinking about innovative, smart programs, smart incentives, smart partnerships that energy providers and utilities can have with others in the ecosystem to really move the needle on things like smart thermostat product adoption and participation in energy programs like demand response, because you have that ability to call on thermostats, right? As you look to the future, let's say the next 1 to 2 years, can you give us an idea of where Austin Energy is really focused in the types of innovative programs and products that you're planning to focus on?
Sure. And I think it's really important. I'm getting ready to retire in less than a month after 38 wonderful years in this business. And I can tell you, I don't think there's any more exciting time for people to get involved in the energy industry because of exactly what you suggested, Jennifer. There's been so much change. There's been so much transformation. When we made smart thermostats part of the energy code, that wasn't a heavy push. Why? Because builders had already determined that that's what consumers wanted. So that was a very, very easy add to the energy code. So the more you can help push market transformation and evolution, to use your word, I think that's even better. So stay ahead of the times, but don't forget the basics. So again, I'm sort of old school. In my case, we put in additional insulation in our home, solar screens, all of those basics, and all this bright, shiny gadgets or objects can't make up for that. It's really, really important to have a well-insulated envelope and to do everything you can to make that home habitable in the extremes of a Central Texas summer or the hopefully once every maybe 40 years or so, fingers crossed, generational effect. I would suggest to your viewers that there are a couple of great resources that they may want to refer to. And so in the category of just couldn't be more timely, IEEE, and I don't know if y'all are familiar with IEEE, just published today, I believe, a paper that is entitled Building an Intelligent Electric Grid for the 21st Century. And that goes through all of the things that we're looking to see evolve more rapidly in the future. Distributed energy resources, both demand side management as well as renewable resources, both locally sited or customer sited. Plug-in electric vehicles. I can't tell you how much I wish I had a plug-in electric vehicle that I could have used as a storage facility for our home during a 3-day outage. So I think those are the sorts of things that will really help transform our system. The ability to get near real-time communications, and it's not just in terms of energy, I believe it's also in terms of water. When you go through the types of issues that we've experienced recently, we've now seen, and I believe you have seen, given where you live, issues in terms of water reliability, and the like. And so the ability to know, even if I'm not at home, am I experiencing leaks? Am I experiencing anomalies in terms of my electric consumption? I think there are great opportunities in the future, and it will only continue to evolve. That's why we continue at Austin Energy to pilot offerings. And going back to what I talked about in terms of demand response as well as vehicle electrification, we've got a small group of customers that are participating in a program where it's called the EV360 program, where we are able to ensure that customers charge off peak. And in fact, for those customers who install a level 2 charging station, they get a higher rebate if those level 2 stations installed at home are Wi-Fi enabled. So I think those things that you can do, as almost everybody these days has one of these devices that they use. I can stay connected. I can manage my consumption. I can lower my consumption. I look to my utility to send me notices in terms of my energy consumption or what they're seeing in terms of anomalies. The quicker I can connect customers remotely, the better the experience for those customers. Because in the final analysis, what is it that we all want in addition to that sort of the reliability at the center of those 4 C's? What I want is to ensure that our customers experience excellent, seamless service from Austin Energy 24/7, 365, even in the midst of what we've experienced over the last 12 months.
Well, I know that we have greatly benefited from your experience and your insights, and I know that your customers and your employees have as well. So again, Debbie Kimberly with Austin Energy, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Jennifer.